Hey guys, Disaster Arizona here, coming at you with a deck profile with a deck that's really special to me. I've been working on it ever since I was young. I give up on it every now and then because honestly sometimes I see that it sucks and other times I say, oh my gosh, this deck is great, I love playing it. But I've been working on it more and more, and now I've got it to where it can stand up to those top tier decks. It can stand up to rabbits, windups, insectors, samurais, whatever you want to put it up against. Karakuris. It's a deck. It's the Dark Scorpions from the Dark Crisis, Don Zalug from Pharaonic Guardian, and Cliff the Trap Mover from Magician's Force. Their effects are when they do battle damage, they get to have one of two effects. And they run a lot. The deck is a lot like Glad Beast in that they have to battle. Glad Beasts don't have to do damage, they just have to battle. But Dark Scorpions, they have to do damage. And when you do damage, you get one of their two effects. Which one of them is actually, most of them are actually really good. And one of them is like an iffy, like if I can't use the other effect, I'm going to use this one. So without further ado, let me get you started on the deck that's really close to me. First off, we got your main boss monster of the deck, Don Zalug. Some people have Grapha, some people have VLS, some people have Logia. We have Don Zalug, our boss monster of the deck. 1400 attack. When he does damage, you get to 1. Discard a card from your opponent's hand, or 2. Mill the top 2 cards from their deck. Next we have 3. Dark Scorpion Manea of the Thorns. When she does battle damage, she gets to search for Dark Scorpion or Cliff the Trap Mover from your deck, add it to your hand, or your graveyard is her second effect. So she's the Stratos of the deck. Next, we have 3 Cliff the Trap Removers. When he does damage, he either gets to destroy a spell or trap on the field, or he gets to mill the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. Think of him as the Bestiari or the Lila of the deck, in that he forces out warning usually every time he hits the field. And 1 Chick the Yellow. I'm not running all the Dark Scorpions. Gorge is horrible. I would never run him, even though it would stick with the theme. I'm trying to make this a competitive deck. And Chick the Yellow, there's only one of, just because he's for the lockdown. When you get rid of their whole hand with Dawn and their whole field with Cliff, when he does damage, you get to see the top card of their deck, and you either get to put it on the top or the bottom. And the thing is, they don't get to see the card. Or his other effect is when he does damage, you get to return a card on the field to its hand. So he could be useful in getting rid of synchros or something. But use it for a lockdown, so your opponent has a less chance of top decking out of something they need. Next, we have the reason this deck is actually good now is Gen X Ally Crusher. 2000 defense. When you normal summon a monster with the same attribute as him, which he's dark, you get to destroy 1 card on the field. So all the Dark Scorpions in the deck are dark. You set him first turn, they attack into him with something like Thunder King. He flips up, next turn summon Cliff the Trap Remover, summon Don Zalug, attack, destroy something, discard something. This guy is amazing. He is probably the best opening move you can do with this deck. 2 Mystic Tomatoes to search out any target in the deck. Usually it's going to be Gen X Ally Crusher first turn. And Singing, because literally any target in the deck you can search out. Next, since they're all dark, we play 1 Allure of Darkness, which is kind of obvious. It's just a given. We have our staples, 1 MST. I only run 1 MST because Cliff the Trap Remover is our MST. I might even take MST out for more monster destruction, seeing as Cliff does what he needs to do. We have Monster Reborn, Book of Moon, Heavy Storm, Dark Hole, and Rhoda. Well, I guess you could say Rhoda's a stable for this deck because it searches out any one of your warriors. So you have 2 Smashing Grounds, because the main problem with this deck is the monsters have really low attack, so you have to get rid of their monsters in order for your effects to go off. Like I said, back row is not really a big concern for this deck because they will force it out sooner or later. So the big monsters are the main problem. And for that main problem, we have Triple Shrink. It's better than Lance in that it halves the attack, and sometimes 800 from Lance isn't enough for something like Manea or Chick or Cliff to get over. Having the attack is probably the best thing you can do. This is probably the best spell and trap in the deck, just because you can attack, damage step, activate, destroy their monster, they take battle damage, and you get to use their effects. It's a 2-for-1 deal most of the time. Next, we're on Triple D Prison. Like I said, you had to get rid of the monsters. Double Torrential. Double Warning. Double Bottomless. Mirror Force. Solemn Judgment. And I'm thinking about taking this down to 1, but like I said, if 2 of these hit the field, it's going to force out the Torrential Tribute. You're going to set so much back row that they're not going to help themselves to activate Heavy Storm. Mirror Force. There's a lot of stuff that can destroy 2 cards. So right now I am running Double Road. It is a dead card at times, but there's so much stuff that these guys force out. If you've never played the deck, if you have a Crusher in defense mode, you normal summon one of your Scorpions. They're going to want a Torrential. It's going to force out Solemn Warning a lot of the time, but they're going to want a Torrential. They're going to want a Dark Hole that, and Starlight Road just says no. For the extra deck, it's pretty standard. I'm using Blade Armor Ninjas, Utopia, Leviair, Leviathan, all your standard extra deck Exceeds. I used to run Gale in here so I could Synchro, but right now I took it out just to test different stuff. But it's a pretty standard extra deck in the form of Exceeds. The side deck, the thing I like about this deck is the side deck is so versatile. You literally run 16 monsters. And the thing is, what I do with this deck is when I side deck, I don't side deck. You could side deck. You can go into Animated Dark Scorpion, side Macrocosmos. They work with Goes and Match and Rivalry of the Warlords. You could use Vanity's Emptiness, Maxi. You could go pure Animated Scorpion and be fine. But what I like to do with this deck is when I side deck, I'll take all the Scorpions, and I'll probably leave 1 or 2 Dawn Zalugan because he's actually the only viable target to leave in. And I'll take out a Lure of Darkness, and I will shuffle all 15 cards in my deck and take out 15 and actually side into a different deck. Right now, I'm siding into Heroes. You take out all the Scorpions, you add a Stratos, your 3 Alias, Double Thunder King, Gemini Sparks, Miracle Fusions, possibly 1 Miracle Fusion because it is dead at times, Double E-Call, Super Poly, and 2 Hero Blast. But with this deck, if you really wanted to, you could take all of them out, side into Dino Rabbit. Take all of them out, side into Glad Beast. Take them out, side into Insectors if you wanted to. The only reason I don't want to do Insectors is because Game 2, they're going to see all the monsters here, and they're going to want to side deck in their Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors. That's a given. So when you side out, when you take all your Scorpions and side them out into this, their double, possibly triple Shadow Imprisoning Mirrors becomes dead. It becomes worthless. So this is my idea. This is the deck I'm trying to make actually playable right now. Don't know how it's going to work out, but siding into Heroes definitely worked yesterday. It caught a lot of people off guard, and it's just an idea of trying out because Dark Scorpions are one of my favorite archetypes in the game. Their effects are actually very broken. They can get your opponent in a lockdown to where they won't have a hand or field. So, hey, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. Build a Dark Scorpion deck. Net deck me. I don't care. Test them out for yourself. Because I guarantee you're going to find that they're very underrated, and they can go off when they can go off. I'm just going to say that much. Alright. Disaster Daytona out here. You guys rate, comment, subscribe. Just do what you do.